Don't you know that they'll be watching, waiting for him and failure? He ran on making up a million ways.
Hey, and welcome to Rick's Rusty Rex. By golly, we got another one today. $49.95.95. You too can own this 1978 Dodge W150.
For you to tell her, your tenements a forest, or you're hiding up a tree. It's too bad opportunity doesn't come along with a lifetime guarantee. Yeah. Where there's a wind that shot an empty breaking line, nobody's gonna care. If you're the missing link of season, I'm the brink of sin, I'll be more than you can bear.
Well, hey, if you don't like fixing things and making them just like brand used, this channel may not be for you. Alright, it's Rick here. Welcome back to RC Industry, and I want to thank everybody. We have surpassed 500 subscribers, so we're going to the No Name Nationals. Hopefully we're going to drive the Krusty Chrysler. Seen a picture of you. But you never know. We might have to drive the War Wagon. But we're going to drive something. Going to change it up a little bit today. I need to get the oil changed on this, and I need to hook up the oil pressure gauge and the temperature gauge because I've got to haul some junk with this thing. So we're going to work on that today. It's still February, my birthday month, but it is warm today, 65 degrees. So anyway, all right, let's get to it.
Well, will you tell me I can't even get the hood open? There we go. Good grief almighty.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is with the changing of the oil is we're going to take this nice flavor of the day here, and we're going to put half of this bottle into this jug because this one's got maybe a half a quart in it, and then we got a new 5 quarts here. I would say that this engine probably takes, with the truck oil pan on it, it probably takes 5. I hope it don't take more than that because I only got 5 plus this plus the half of this. So anyway, and then we got an oil filter here, which doesn't look like the right one, but CarQuest told me it was. So anyway, you guys know best. Alright, let me get some oil draining out of there and I'll show you more. Okay, well, I don't know how good you can hear me down here because the wind is just a whipping, but I am in a t-shirt, so that helps. So let's reach up in here, which you can't see, but the oil filter is right up here. Let me get some of this out of the way. That should easily drip all over everything. So let me move this over here, and it's kind of like right there. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Let's see if it'll come off there. Let's see if the last jackass tightened this down so tight. Oh yeah, yeah, she ain't coming off there. Okay, well, let's see here what we got. I got one of these dukers. Let's see if this will work. Oops, kind of knocked you out of the way there. See if we can do anything with this thing. Would be if we get the right way. That'll be handy if we've got the right oil filter. Oh, I think we're coming. She's beginning to turn. Uh-oh. There it went. Clear over there. All right. I wasn't sure how this one was going to turn out. All right. Let's let that drain out of there. Let me get my new filter. All right. Hold on. Be right back. All right. She's quit dripping there a little bit. Let's see once if we can get that down out of there. See if we can make some more mess. Let's see if this looks like the filter they sold me. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. That's the one they got me. And this one looks like it ought to be about the same size, so I'd say it's probably all right. All right. Now what I did was I poured that additive into that quart or so of oil I already had, and that's what I mixed it, and that's what I just poured into this new filter. So we'll put that up on there. And you don't have to do it that way. Hell, there's 40 different ways of doing it, and 40 different people are going to do it 40 different ways. That's just how I do it. And I know Derek from Vice Grip Garage would tell you to put the date on that thing and everything, but land sakes, I don't drive these things enough to just once a year. Now, I'm only going to hand tighten that because I don't think it's supposed to be any tighter than that. And I'm going to try to wipe off all this oil that went everywhere. That went on the U-joint. That might not hurt the U-joint at all. It might need it. That front prop shaft there. Alright. Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and get this. I didn't know what size it was, so I just brought the universal wrench. And I don't know what happened to it. I was sure I brought it down here. Whoops. Well, I don't see it, guys. Alright, let me go get a wrench. Show you more. Okay, I moved you a little bit so you could see a little better. Maybe. I don't know if you can see any better or not. So I got me a... Oh, goodness. I got me a Ozark wrench here. Let's see if I can get this on there. Pop that loose once. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's coming. She's going to come right on out of there. That thing is in the way and it's nasty. Alright. Oh, boy. It's going to be hard thread all the way. Now, I don't know if you're seeing it, but this is the first time I've really been under here and looked at this old piece of junk. So I realize now that we got some high performance stuff under here, and you may have already spotted it, because I had no idea that we had such high performance. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can catch this. Oh, some of the stuff is black. And it smells like gas too, because if you remember from the earlier videos, this thing needed a fuel pump in it too. And the reason it needed a fuel pump was, well, I mean, obviously the fuel pump didn't work, but I mean, this fuel pump was leaking the fuel into the crankcase. So, you know, that's one of the reasons I want to get this oil change for. I take it for a spin because, you know, I know that's, you know, it's flushed the engine out long enough, let's just say that. But here's the high performance thing I'm talking about. See this right here? That is at least another 7 to 10 horsepower right there. We got some chrome up under here, and that ain't Ozark chrome either. That's real chrome. Look at that. That polishes right up. So that tells me a couple things. One is somebody's been into the transmission on this, or at least they've bought a chrome pan cover anyway. So alright, looks like our oil's about out of there. Let's put this back up in here. You know, I think while I'm down here I'm going to go ahead and grease these U-joints because I'm right here at them. So I'll show you that in just a second. Alright, I'm going to put this plug in and I'll show you more. Okay. Get up in here. There we go. I don't see any grease zerks on the actual shafts out to the, on the U-joints out to the four-wheel drive, but I definitely see them here. And that one is for the U-joint. This one was for the slip joint. And then you can't really see it, but I got up in here on this other part. Let me see if I can get you over here. Here is the, I don't even know if you can see it, but this is the double knuckle joint, and there's a grease zerk right there. So I used my little needle on that one, and then there's one right here, and that one I can get right on there. So I guess while we're under here, let's just go on back and we just will grease this one too while we're at it. And then there may be one back there at the back. So that's the only grease zerks that I know of, other than possibly some up here on this steering link. I'm not sure. We'll check it out, and if there is, we'll show you that. Alright, let's get some oil in this thing. Okay, so there wound up being a grease zerk right here, so I got that one. And there's one over here, right there, on this drag link or main link or whatever you call it. I suppose this is probably the pitman arm, I'm guessing. Anyway, oh, and I bet there's one back there on that one. I'll have to check that because I did not. But since I'm under here, I kind of gandered at this this doogie whopper, and it's all bent, so I know the shaft ain't gonna go back and forth right. And you know, she needs some rubbers on there, so I'm gonna see about getting a new one of these and some new rubbers for that. And then while I was under here, of course, we've got that fancy pan there, but if you look right to the bottom of that pan, let me see if I can zoom in here. You see that thing right there? That thing right there, and that one right there. That is the transfer mounts. They're supposed to be rubber, and that thing's is the one on this side is completely destroyed, and then that one don't look like too healthy, but that one has just got the whole metal piece of the mounting bracket for the transfer case sitting right on the cross member. So we're gonna order some of those too. So we need to order those, and we need to order this thing. Oh, now I've got my zoom all the way in. This thing, and you know, hey, that is what it is. All right, there's the engine. Yeah, it's up in there somewhere. Okay, all right, enough of that crazy stuff. Let's put some oil in it. All right, show you more. All right, so we got that in there, and while I was down into there, I went ahead and checked the transfer case and the rear ends, and the rear end and the front end. Front end and rear end were fine, but that transfer case was a little low, so it may have a leak, which has caused those bushings to kind of deteriorate. Of course, you know, it is 30 years old too, or 35. So, well, actually, it's more than that, ain't it? 78, be 44 years old. Hell, okay. Well, anyway, all right. So I put that one bag in there, or that one jug there that I mixed the additive with, and we're about, oh, I don't know, right in there someplace, and we're supposed to be up to here. So I'm going to put some more in it. So I probably put, oh, 1.5 quarts out of this in there already. I just kind of wanted, because I'm not sure if it's going to hold 5 quarts or what's it's going to hold. I just don't know. Alright, let me get this topped off and I'll show you more. Okay, so let's give this thing a check. I've got about 2 quarts in there, maybe 3, and whatever was in that jug plus that additive. So let's see what we got here. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but we're up there to the to about there. There's the add. So we're probably 1.5 quarts yet. So dump a little more in there. Let that sit. We'll top her off and see what happens. All right, show you more. Oh, hey. Okay, so we got the oil changed and went through and greased everything that we had a grease zerk that we could find anyway, and checked all the oil in the transfer case and the rear end, front end, and put a little bit in the transfer case. Talked about we need to order the bushings for that, so that'll be in the next video or another video. I don't know if it'll be the next one. Depends on how long it takes to source those parts. So the next thing I got to do is get the oil gauge hooked up in this thing, and I got to get the new water jacket line ran from up here and put to a gauge, because I don't want to trust the one in the dash. And then we got to see if we can get a fuel gauge working, because we don't know what kind of fuel we got. So I don't want to be walking down the road, you know, run out. So anyway, thanks for coming along today, and thanks for all the subscriptions. Man, we're up over 500 now, and it's awesome. We're going to the No Name Nationals, baby. We'll see you there.
Do you find it that hard to believe that all the wrong is done, and it has not always been me? Say, whoa, do you feel it's that important to win? Though you know I'm wild, you could have never been, could have never been. I said, do you find it that hard to conceive where you thought me blind? I say, I do say, I said, whoa, do you know that confidence is king, and the truth remains, I'm everything